Hello and welcome back in this very awesome special video. Actually, this is a very special video because in this video, my friends, you will see two of my favorite engines ever in a single masterpiece. So I received an amazing requested video by Mr. Andrew McGravey a day ago, actually 24 hours ago, or maybe more than 24 hours. You get the point. A day ago. Only with four words only: twin SR20 engine, please. That's it. 4 words, perfect 4 words to make a perfect masterpiece. Two of my favorites engine ever made are the SR20DET engine and any kind of high performance V8 engine, or V8 in general. The V8 in general, I love the shape of it, I love the sound of it, I love the performance, the way that gives the torque, the power, everything. And as you can see, I was more than glad to make this amazing requested video because the SR20 DET engine was developed by Nissan or Nissan, whatever you want to call it, and it was put and they used it in the S14 Sylvia, the S15, and other coupes made by Nissan, and there was a lot of versions of it, and like 200 horsepower naturally aspirated, 250 horsepower, red top, black top, whatever. So let's make it. But before we start with all of the specs, I would love, guys, to remind you that if you enjoy the video, hit that like button, get subscribed. It's easy, just push the subscribe button, it will not bite you or anything, and hit that notification bell button so you can get a notification each time I release a new video. And if you want to request a custom engine or a replica of a current engine that Automation Game can support it, or if you want to request a custom car, please add my Snapchat. My username is Lord Bass 94, Lord BAS 94, so I can add you on the group, so you can put your request over there, or you can go to my Patreon page. You can support the channel on Patreon page, or you can request a video over there. And alright, so everything is settled. Let's start with the specs. We have a V-shaped 60 degrees 8-cylinder engine because the SR20 DET is a 4-cylinder engine, and yes, to use a 4-cylinder, to put a twin 4-cylinder engine, like most of manufacturers when they design a twin engines, like twin 4-cylinder or twin 8-cylinder or even twin 6-cylinder inline engines, they put them usually they put them in the 60 degrees setup. So this is a V-shaped 60 degrees engine, 8-cylinder engine, twin 4-cylinder setup, as you can see, with aluminium block as the SR20 was made from. The bore and stroke are the same as the SR20, 86 on the bore and the stroke, which equals 2 liter for the SR engine, or a 4 liter for this beast of a V8. Dual overhead camshaft with 4 valves per cylinder, the same as the SR20. Aluminum cylinder heads, the same as the SR20. Basically everything is the same as the SR20 except some few points. No VVL, of course. The SR20 did not use any kind of VVL technology. Forged steel crankshaft, heavy duty connecting rods, and forged pistons. Not heavy duty forged connecting rods. Zero quality, no need to use any high quality internals. 8.5:1, this is the official compression ratio for the SR20 DET engine. 77 on the cam profile, no VVT, no variable valve timing. We have +5 quality on the camshafts and the cylinder heads and everything related to them. Twin turbochargers with ball bearing internals, 722 horsepower, supporting intercooler with a very custom very custom twin turbos, my friends. 43 millimeters on the compressor, 35 millimeters on the turbine, with 1.40 maxed out AR ratio, and 15.2 psi of boost. Yeah, now yes, car enthusiast or the SR20 enthusiast was telling me that the SR20 official boost was 7 psi from the factory. Well, yes, and this engine should be around 14 psi, not 15. But with 14 psi, I mean, I tried really hard, and no, the engine could not achieve the targeted horsepower and torque, which they are doubled from the official SR20 power and torque. I could not achieve those numbers with the 14 psi of boost, so I pushed it to 15 psi. Well, it's nearly 14. It's 15.2. +2 quality on the turbos, multi-point fuel injection with twin throttle bodies. If you are wondering why I have chosen twin throttle bodies, because each SR20DET engine uses a single throttle body, single big throttle bodies. And in this engine, because it's a V8 engine and we have twin SR engines like bolted on or melted together in a V engine, in a V8 cylinder, in a V8 engine, so I'm gonna use twin throttle bodies. And basically, if you have seen the inline 4 engine set up in automation game with a performance intake manifold, you will know that this intake manifold with these gray runners, as you can see, it looks very similar to the to this one, the inline 4 cylinder performance single throttle body intake manifold looks absolutely the same as this one. And so we have twin throttle bodies in a performance package, as you can see, red big performance intake manifold with longer runners, actually shorter runners, because well, they look, well, the runners are, the runner diameter is bigger in a performance than a standard. Awesome. All right, so let's move on. I needed to choose, or I needed to use 95 octane fuel, 95 premium, because this engine with twin turbos, and I mean, yes, the compression ratio is very little, actually 8.5 to 1, which is perfect for a turbo and any kind of turbo engine. But with this much boost, 15 psi, and this much ignition timing, yes, we needed a little bit more octane than usual. 12.9 is the air fuel ratio, with 77 on the ignition timing, and 7000 is the RPM limit. Also, this is another point after the boost. As we mentioned before, the boost is 7 psi on a single SR20 engine, 14 psi with twin SR20DET engine, and also the RPM on the official RPM limit for the SR20DET is 6000 RPM, or actually the power peaks at 6000 RPM. Unfortunately, I had to push it to 7000, again for the same reason, so I can achieve the correct number and torque figures. Alright, so let's move on. We have +4 quality here on the fuel system. We have short cast headers with dual exhaust pipes and a 3-inch exhaust diameter with high flow 3-way catalytic converter, and we don't have any kind of first muffler, with a straight through second muffler and +9 quality. If you are wondering why it's +9 quality, because I want to keep it quiet. I want this exhaust to flow absolutely like I want this exhaust to flow as high as possible, or as too much as possible, whatever the word is in English. Alright, so, and as you can see, 3-inch exhaust diameter, 76.2 millimeters, with bypass valves, so I can make it more efficient, and so I can make the exhaust diameter smaller with as you can see, because usually, not usually, like always, when you use a small diameter exhaust system, you will kill horsepower because you are restricting air out of the engine. But using bypass valves, it will make the exhaust diameter smaller, but because of the valves in the mufflers, it will act like a straight through pipe, and that's what I want. After a certain RPM, these valves will open, or if you want to use a button maybe inside the car, these valves will open and the exhaust will be more high flow and more high performance than usual. +9 quality, as I mentioned, everything is perfect. Alright, let's go to the testing. So these are the final result. 4-liter engine doubled from the SR20DET engine, 2-liter 4-cylinder engines equals 4-liter, perfect, same bore, same stroke. The horsepower and the torque are doubled precisely. 250 horsepower is the SR20DET engine used in the Sylvia S15. So 250 horsepower, we have 500 horsepower, perfect. 220 pound-feet of torque in the original SR20 engine, 440, perfect. Reliability, the engine is reliable, it's not that heavy actually, and service cost is very good. Fuel efficiency or fuel economy, well, I'm pushing a little bit too much fuel in, so it's not bad for high performance V8 engine. Let's see, octane, We are nearly using all of it. The emissions are acceptable. The engine is not that loud and not that noisy. It's in between. Throttle response very good. Smoothness not bad actually for a high performance engine. And that's it, my friends. So let's fire up this beast here and listen to it. So this is how it looks from the inside. The forged pistons, the forged connecting rods, and the forged crankshaft, looking absolutely amazing. The 4 valves per cylinder setup, dual overhead camshafts, perfect. And the twin turbos, of course, the twin snail power. Absolute perfection at its best. Nissan power, twin turbos, V8 engine, twin throttle bodies, 500 horsepower, 440 pound-feet of torque, a tiny 4-liter engine. Yes, that's actually a tiny V8. I mean, 4-liter V8. Usually these 4-liter V8s, they are pushing like 200 horsepower, 220, 250 at its best. But with the magic of twin turbos, twin throttle bodies, and the magic, of course, of dual overhead camshaft and 4 valves per cylinder, well, basically every other part around the V8, well, 500 horsepower is very much achievable, and 440 pound-feet of torque, well, the power of this small V8 engine is like a power of a massive 6.3 liter or even more naturally aspirated V8 engine. So thank you so much, guys, for watching. Please tell me what do you think about this engine in the comment section below. I would love to hear from you. Is this engine worth it? Do you think, like, if someday maybe some developers will develop this V8 engine based on the SR20DET engine, do you think it's worth it? Do you think that it's worth buying, or worth maybe developing, or worth everything? Tell me what do you think about this engine. And please, if you enjoy the video, hit that like button, get subscribed, share the video if you want to share it, and watch all my previous videos. Like, I have more than 650, 660 videos of automation game. Like, basically every possible engine you can think of, I made it. And if I did not make that engine, tell me, as I mentioned on my Snapchat, on my Patreon page maybe, and I will make it as soon as possible, because I'm receiving like a lot of requests, and I'm picking like my favorites, or not the easiest one, no, I'm picking my favorites one, like the unique ones. I mean, this is R20 V8 engine. It's not actually an easy one. I mean, pushing 500 horsepower engine while remaining this engine with high fuel efficiency and high reliability and cheap as possible. It's not an easy job, it's not an easy thing to do, but we have managed it, my friend. And so thank you so much, guys, for watching. And of course, well, I'm sorry, I totally forgot your name, Mr. Well, that's embarrassing, right? Alright, so thank you so much to whoever requested this video. because this is an amazing. Oh yes, Mr. Andrew. All right, Mr. Andrew. Mr. Andrew McGravey, thank you so much for your amazing request, and I hope that you liked it, and I hope that you guys liked it, and I'm gonna see you with very soon with more amazing videos. So thank you and goodbye for now, my friends.